third person perspective.
Hello again, and welcome to another podcast episode of Third Person Perspective. I am Kenneth Douglas, your host, and I'm glad to have you here with me as we continue on this ride to create more information, different information, hopefully, things to think about. That's the key that drives me. Ooh, it was a rhyme. Okay, so our topic today, as you saw the title, here's the question I want you to think of. What is your initial feeling when you encounter another person? Hmm? 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 So you might be thinking, what are you talking about? Well, I've written down 5 different things or segments or different kinds of ways that people can think about when they're walking across the street or they're in the mall or they're in the grocery store, right? And they run into another person. It's just that quick interaction. What's going through your mind? What's going through their mind, right? That person that you do not know, okay? Are you open to meeting and learning about a new person, or are you fearful in some kind of way? So, getting right into it. So, the first one I have, number one, will it be a power struggle? So, when you see that other person and maybe you have to deal with them in some kind of way, is it going to be, all right, I have to prove I'm better than that person, or that person's going to try to prove they're better than me? Who's going to win? Is it that type of thing going on in your head? I'm saying this, I'm not making this up. I know people think like this. I don't, but I know people, they have that in their mind. Is there going to be some kind of conflict just from another interaction with another person? All right. So that's question number one. Number two, is it just fear? Right. Will that other person try to harm me in some way? Now, obviously, this is legitimate, right? Um, just in life in general, our physical environment that we participate in, it's not too far removed from the survival environment we used to be in as hunter gatherers, thousands and millions of years ago, of course. So that's still in us to survive. So, but it looks different these days, right? It looks different because we have people who are going to not just physically challenge you or make you have some kind of fear, but mentally and emotionally, right? And that goes into number three. So, do you see the other person as objects that need to be manipulated for your own benefit, right? So, you might be thinking the other person, but what about the people who are walking around thinking that way, right? What can I get from that person? Oh, that person looks a little timid. What can I what can I get from them? What can I do to them to get what I want? Because I need something and I'm going to use that person. They look like I can, manipulate them in some type of way and get what I want. So we know there are people like that and they live their life like that, just basically trying to manipulate other people and for their own personal gain. So if you know that and you know people are out there, then there's that fear that there's that person always trying to do that. So you're going to have your walls up, of course. And all of these fear-based ones about having your walls up against other people, in case you haven't noticed. So now here's a different one. Okay. Number four, do you feel a need to convert them to your way of thinking? Ooh. So do you feel like you're going around and you know what's best, you know, your society, um, your, I don't know, your tribe, your ethnic group, your community, your religion, as far as you're concerned, has all the right answers. And you think that the rest of the people are living in ignorance compared to your thoughts and feelings about the world and the way things go. So you've decided that you're going to go around and you're going to save everyone, right? You know what I'm talking about. So if that's the case, then you're going around just like number three, where there's them manipulating for their own personal gains. Well, you're going to try to affect someone because you think they need, to be fixed for some reason. Okay. So same way if you flip it, do you feel like you need to worry about those people out there who are constantly doing that, coming up to you trying to, fix you or save you in some kind of way, right? So we see where I'm going with this. These are kind of things that people think about, or they don't consciously think about it, they do subconsciously, these four. But the fifth one is the key. The fifth one is the key, as far as I'm concerned. This is the one where I believe we need to be. See, I'm doing number four. I'm trying to save you, right? No, I'm just kidding. This is just my thoughts, okay? The fifth one is, here's the question. Is there a childlike curiosity in you that wants to look forward to the opportunity to learn from someone else or have a new experience? Think about that. Is that in you? Well, I believe it's in everyone. And the walls that we put up on the left, the right, front, back, top, side to side, left, right, side to side. Anyway, I won't sing right now. But those barriers, those walls we put up around us, whether we do it ourselves or whether we're consuming our propaganda on the news or we're listening to our family, friends, and community telling us how to think, and those over there, they're wrong or they're bad or they need to go or something like that, we end up putting those barriers up. And next thing you know, that curiosity that is natural within you is now covered up by layers of all that information, disinformation that we especially have going on today. And the difference between number five and one, two, and three, and four is that let me review. Number one, will it be a power struggle? Number two, is it based on fear? Number three, do you see other people as objects that need to be manipulated for your own benefit? And number four, do you feel you need to convert them into your way of thinking? Okay. Number four, not as much, but number one, two, and three definitely are based off of your expectations. Expectations lead to suffering. So now we're sounding like Yoda in Star Wars, right? Right? So expectations lead to suffering because there's fear in all of those, that you don't want something to change, a mindset in some kind of way. So you're either running from or trying to control the situation when you see another person that you don't know. All of a sudden your guard's up, just like your dukes are up, right? Put up your dukes. It's the same thing. It's just on a mental level. And what I am proposing is that you get back to the number five version of you that lives in you eternally, period. It's in you. It's who we are as human beings, as what I believe, and a lot of people believe us. We are eternal spiritual beings having a human experience. And the eternalness in us has a childlike curiosity. It wants to learn, it wants to connect with other versions of the creation. Okay. Um, you can be around the same type of people with the same type of thoughts, and you can be in organizations, you can be in religious groups, community groups, and everyone's thinking the same. But there's a reason why we have diversity in thought and diverse communities, usually because of geography, right? A person living in Nova Scotia, their geography is kind of built the way the people survive. Not only that, but then the community comes together to survive for thousands of years. And there's just certain things that have come to be the way that people communicate, live, interact, and everything. And that's going to be totally different than someone from Sri Lanka, right? A group of people from Sri Lanka or people from South America, Brazil, or somewhere like that, right? So, but the point is that when these people come across each other, and I'm using these countries and these different places in the world as examples. If a person from Brazil comes into contact with a person from Nova Scotia and they're going to have the choice to choose fear or I need to protect myself, my ego, it's fear based, right? Our egos use fear to protect itself, right? So they're going to have the choice. I need to protect my ego. I need to protect myself. I need to protect my beliefs, my culture, my identity that I believe in. Or I can say, hey, I'm curious about, you know, I'm from Nova Scotia, you're from Brazil. I'm curious about your way of life and what you people do. And it can start with something as simple as obviously a hi, a hello, a smile, an acknowledgement through the eyes. Um, you can have their food. You can sit down together and talk about food. Um, I was in a group, I think a few months ago. Someone brought up Anthony Bourdain, his TV show that I used to love as well, where he used food. He went around the world. He was a chef, and he went around the world learning how to cook the other groups' foods and stuff, and just learning about their culture and their way of life by connecting with food. So once again, is what he was using was number five, that childlike curiosity to learn about another person, another group, and further evolve, dare I say, raise his level of consciousness, his level of understanding, his level of understanding of the world around him, and not letting fear control his life. Not in that instance. We know, unfortunately, the tragic story. It was more of a personal thing with Anthony Bourdain, but um, as far as the world outside him, he was very curious, and that's the way I am, and that's the way that I think more people need to get back in touch with. That's what this podcast is about. Getting back in touch with your childlike curiosity, learning about other people, therefore, not being so quick to listen to the propaganda that tells you to see someone as other, to see someone as a problem, as something that needs to be removed to protect your way of life, because that's not true. And deep down in our hearts, we all know that. But it's easy to get caught up in that when the TV, the phone, the family, the religious group, the community, all of that is saying the same thing because they're all consuming the same information. You don't have to. You consume what you want to, but be discerning about it or don't consume any at all. Go with your heart. Your mind is one thing, your heart is another. Your heart knows the truth. Your heart knows that we are here to connect and live in this world, connect and live with each other and love one each other and help one another. If you're listening to anything that says anything other than that, I think you need to re-examine what you're consuming. That's all I have for today. I hope it found you well. I hope you're doing well. And I will see you in the next podcast. Thank you.